Welcome everyone to the rinks in Hauppauge, our second quarterfinal match on the South Rink on the LI Sports Network. Southampton taking on St. Anthony's. We've already seen one big upset today. That was Middle Country taking down the number 1 seed undefeated East Islip, 2-1 the final score. Now we'll see if another legacy team like the Friars may fall in the first round to what is, again, a dangerous underdog in Southampton. They'll play it across the blue line. O'Sullivan losing it out and will be skated back the other way by the Friars, poked off the tape of Galloway. Southampton will take it back into their own zone and once again feed Martin O'Sullivan. A hard time on the clear. Cam Minardi trying to get into the fray as well. Popped off to the near side. Harrington barreling forward to the puck and pokes it into the offensive end. Back for the Friars. Minute gone by in the first period. No shots just yet to speak of. Now one comes in front of the net. More of a centering feed goes up to Galloway. Galloway, Menino, a glove save, and that'll get it started for Southampton. Armashevitz going to be getting the start for Southampton. Brody Morbillo for St. Anthony's. Both these teams operating with about as many players on the bench as they possibly can. As a quick shot will come in front of the crease. Good save. Armashevitz getting tested early here. Another centering feed out in front. 5-0, they score. Friars up 1-0. Puck looped around, Harrington going back for it. St. Anthony striking in the first 2 minutes. We've seen a lot of low-scoring games in the freshman quarterfinals so far. Got a game going on behind us as well. Connetquot Sayville's taking on Smithtown Hauppauge. The Bulls lead that game 3-2. Live in the third period, Travis Quigley on the call. And Paulie Panasonic Trentini operating the camera. Face-off will go back to the center of the rink. One ahead. Borison trying to break it down in the high slot. Angled away, and he'll go back into the neutral zone. Rest of the Friars reset with him. Craig forcing the Friars off sides. Now we'll take another whistle with 12:21 left. Craig back in his zone. Twisting and turning, trying to find an exit strategy. Craig, good moves. Now zips the pass ahead. McNamee across the blue line, but called offsides. Colmer. Pressured by O'Sullivan, gets hit into the boards. Minardi trying to get it up to Harrington, a long drive with a great tip. That was Kevin Kretz almost shoving it into the back of the net. Held alive now. Mistretta trying to get through traffic, a quick shot, rebound in front, poked in, they score. Southampton respond 1-1. Puck almost held alive. That was Evan Goldstein at the blue line. Dumped in. D'Angelo with Grady. Pass to the slot. Quick shot. There's the response. Logan McCauley, 2-1 Friars. And this game might be a track meet. Kessler with Craig trying to get it out. McNamee now flying forward. Puck looped around down low. Kessler there for it. Options at the point. Goldstein trying to go skate to stick. Bullied off the puck. St. Anthony's get it up. Not past Craig. Craig holds. Back down the wall. Here's McNamee with it again. Goldstein flips around for some space. Plays it back over. Kessler lost it out. St. Anthony's take it back and skate up. Craig. Poked from behind. Lost control. Held in. Off the bench comes Cam Minardi. Minardi gives it up. Hunter, a slap shot. Tipped or not in. Southampton almost found the equalizer. Harrington, another slap shot from the near point. Karam's off to the corner. McNamee forced into the boards. Now Cam Minardi there with it. Swings it up to Harrington. Loops it back around the wall. McNamee over to the far corner. Met by Mistretta. He'll hold the zone. Minardi a tap pass. Good defense coming out of Menino. Minardi will bowl through him though. Menino falling down and Minardi gives it back over to Harrington on the wrister. Flipping it to almost Minardi. Now a turnover will give it back to Minardi. He'll drop the shoulder and drive. Minardi on the backhand, giving it up to the blue line. Collected by Mistretta. He'll tap it back down low. Colmer with it now. Giving it over. Mistretta walking it to the goal line. Mistretta whips it around. It went through the crease. Harrington steps into one. Blocker save by Morbillo. Flipped up and out of the zone. This is going to be an opportunity. McCauley in on net. McCauley save made. Minardi shimmies past the hit. Now Minardi takes some punishment into the perimeter. Puck comes back. D'Angelo will race after it. Good foot race. D'Angelo won it out. D'Angelo punched it around the perimeter. Friars hold it in. Craig Getting a pass onto the tape of Kretz. Kretz whips it across and hits it to Minardi in one-on-one. Minardi whistles this shot wide left. Kretz the first one to the rebound, gets pinned into the boards by two Friars. Helped out by Minardi. Trying to hold the zone, and now the puck will clear out completely. D'Angelo back for it. A bank pass, Minardi. Across to Harrington. Excuse me, that's Martin O'Sullivan in. Martin O'Sullivan, a wrister, blocked. Hunter Harrington. St. Anthony's looking for the home run pass over to Nooner. Nooner around the boards. Flipped up, almost out. Southampton with control again. Harrington gains the red line, tries to dump in. It was flagged down by Colmer. Pushed it up the boards, but weakly over to Goldstein in the slot. Almost had his hands free for a shot. Goldstein giving it off. McNamee wrestled away from the puck. Now Goldstein will go after it. Aiden Colmer gets it touched. Hit into the boards. Back for O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan taking punishment. Flips it across. D'Angelo there for it. Knocked it off the boards. Back down low. Nooner forcing it around O'Sullivan. Goldstein stepping up to hold the puck in. On the other side, it's Menino. Cuts to the middle. Menino around two different Whalers, up and out of the zone. In transition, a quick shot. Armashevitz quick with the glove save. Minardi on the draw. One out by St. Anthony's. Taken back instantly in the corner by Craig. Needs some assistance, and he's hounded by Borison. Craig still holding on to it now. Will flip it out of the zone onto the tape of Minardi. Settles the rolling puck. Minardi blows around one. Minardi didn't want to cut into the middle. Did have Kessler there. Plays it up to the blue line. D'Angelo thinks about it, feeds it, and almost tipped. Magnota was there for it on the right post. D'Angelo. Down to 5 minutes. Minardi once again with it on his stick. Zips up the left side. Minardi almost had the dangle around Jackson Zethner. Zethner with it again. Lost it out to Harrington. Harrington for the shot saved by Morbillo. Rebound opportunity that hit off the post. McNamee couldn't believe it. His head sagged backwards. Great opportunity for Southampton. They'll take the offensive zone draw. Goldstein on the face-off. Brought out to the neutral zone. Harrington. Knocked down. Centering feed almost went over to McCauley. McNamee will force it out of the zone. Menino. Hit by McNamee. Looped up the boards onto the near side. Southampton with a good forecheck to hold it for a couple extra seconds. The Friars bogged down, but in transition, it's McCauley in on net. Another great save. One-on-one. Colmer looking for the point shot, passing it down the wall. Back to Colmer. Steps forward this time. Colmer, another good stop by Armashevitz. Armashevitz on another follow-up, trying to paddle it away. Needs some help from his defense. They spike it off to the perimeter. McNamee, great hands. He's going to start the rush up ice. Declan McNamee, slowed down by Menino, puts on the brakes and is wrestled down to the ice. That's going to be a penalty, and Southampton go to the power play. Quick shot off the draw at the blue line. A lot of heat on it for Kessler. Craig trying to feed it over to Minardi. Net front, McNamee had it poked off his stick. St. Anthony's take it back, fire it off the boards and out. In transition, here come the Friars for the dangle on the shorthand. Won't go. Armashevitz is pitching a gem right now over the last, call it 8 minutes. McCauley will take the face-off. One out by Southampton. Still plenty of time on the power play. 2:40 remaining in the period. Minardi at the blue line. Gets the pass. Breaks it in. O'Sullivan in front of him. Instead, he'll feed the blue line again. Tap down low to O'Sullivan. Looking for the centering feed. Hit off the skate of McNamee. Harrington will hold the zone. Spiked off his stick. And St. Anthony's will get the clear. McCauley has been playing a great game as well so far for St. Anthony's. Both of the Friars' goals, and is playing some great defense on top of that. McNamee breaks it in, taken off his stick by guess who? Logan McCauley, another good play. Logan McCauley on the forecheck, hit it off the outside of the net, now swarmed by 4 different Whalers. Trying to take the puck away, and it will rattle off the boards onto the tape of Minardi. Cam Minardi likes his odds 1-on-3, leaves it behind. Good move. McNamee scores! Southampton cash in on the power play. It's 2-2. Face-off dropped. Game even again. A goal from McNamee, a goal from O'Sullivan to balance out the scoring of Logan McCauley. Puck brought in by Nooner. Twists it behind him, looking for a shot. Deflected and onto the tape of the captain. Southampton will dump in. 1:20 remaining in the period. Awkward on the breakout, but the Friars have bodies towards the puck. It's Tizzano. Tizzano looking over to his left, feeding middle, almost tipped into the back of the net. Cleared out now by Kessler. .50 seconds remain in the first. Long shot, glove save, Armashevitz. O'Sullivan bodying through the contact, feeding it over Minardi. Almost had Emtaj on the back door as well. 24 seconds left. St. Anthony's holding it at the blue line. Controlled by Zethner. Knocked down to the ice. Pass over Galloway. Craig for O'Sullivan. Out to Emtaj. She'll force it across the blue. Dumped in with 1 second left in the period, and after the first 15, we're still tied at 2, heading into the second. Back on the LI Sports Network, start of the second period. Score knotted up at 2 between Southampton and St. Anthony's. The Friars have controlled 2 different one-goal leads. Southampton haven't allowed them to stand for too long. Both these teams with a lot of offensive punch. Goalie's trying to weather the storm as well as possible. Armashevitz on one side has had to stop a couple breakaways, and Morbillo on the other side has had to stop a couple of high-quality rebound opportunities. Off the face-off. Craig will take it back over to the corner. Grady challenged by 2 Friars. St. Anthony's win the battle. Forced out of the zone by Harrington. He'll get it across the blue line himself. A shot down low. Morbillo the save. Goldstein trying to settle a wild puck. Brought out of the zone now, and St. Anthony's will go in transition. They have numbers. Jake Evans with it right now. Gives it over. The shot, they score. Friars back up by 1. Landon Ivezi. Back to the face-off dot. In a place Southampton have already found themselves in twice, trailing St. Anthony's by 1. Puck brought ahead by Mistretta. Rims it around the board. Kessler going after it. Out past the blue line, forcing Southampton to reset. Evan Goldstein, first one into the zone. Good takeaway. Feed intended for the slot. Ended up on the tape of Colmer. He'll start the breakout for the Friars. Tizzano angling wide. Tizzano shooting down low. Rebound on the goal line. It didn't go. Just barely out of the net. D'Angelo going back for it. Pushed off the puck. Hard play by Nooner. Given over to space. Menino looking for the shot. Whistled above the crossbar. Stays in the zone. Nooner with it again. Nooner, he'll take it himself. Good pass ahead to Minardi. Brought in with O'Sullivan, trying to go back to Minardi. Instead, it's Kretz or Rister. Minardi on the doorstep, helped out by O'Sullivan, but the puck wobbled wide over to the right. St. Anthony's coming back in transition, slowed down by Harrington. He'll turn the corner and rush. Kretz in the corner, feeding it middle. Blocked off by Zethner. Fire it onto the tape of Satera. One back by Minardi. Craig on the right side. Craig across the blue line. Has Minardi in front of him. He'll feed it over to the corner. Minardi will go to work. Swung around the boards to the near side. O'Sullivan extending the stick to hold the zone. Pass almost in front for Kevin Kretz. Kretz another centering feed. It was sent away by St. Anthony's to the far point. Harrington there. He'll spear it in deep again. Zethner after it. Looking for the weak side of the ice. Southampton have been relentless on the forecheck, and now the puck is finally fired out. Down and will go for an icing. Puck going all the way down for another icing, right back to the offensive end. Goldstein will step in for the faceoff. Evans had it poked off his stick. Here comes McNamee, barreling ahead. McNamee in on net, looked for the shot. Stood up by Morbillo. Back the other way, centering feed, they score! Evans in front of the goal, 4-2 Friars. Cam Minardi on the draw, getting it back for Harrington, and Southampton down by 2 for the first time today. Pass over to Craig, ahead Minardi. Across the blue line, O'Sullivan over to his left. Minardi, a shot saved by Morbillo. Minardi turned it around. just above the crossbar. Clears out of the zone. Harrington. A D-to-D pass over to Craig. Right back to Harrington in open space. The forecheck applied by Tizzano forces the turnover up the wall. Henry trying to feed it over to the right post. Banked off the end boards and cleared out now. It's the captain, Martin O'Sullivan, leaving it over for a quick shot. O'Sullivan rebound. Minardi on the doorstep trying to find it. Turns around for the shot, and he's greeted by Morbillo for another great save. Race up the ice for Tizzano. It's the pass over to Henry, trying to dish it into the blue paint. Suck still sitting there. Finally brought out by D'Angelo. Giving it across for Evan Goldstein. Looked for Kessler. Bounced off the boards. Jackson Zethner. D-to-D over to Hoffman. Back to Zethmer. He'll loop it around. Tizzano available, as is Nooner, and it's up and out of the zone, but turned over to Southampton. Back over for D'Angelo. Dumped it into the zone. Evan Goldstein will chase after it. Galloway in front of him, and it will be an icing. Final score of the Smithtown Hauppauge Connect Quasayville game. The Bulls won it 4-2 against the T-Birds. ESM versus Longwood. Starting in the first period, still at 0. Breakaway opportunity, backhand, saved by Morbillo. Puck brought in for the Friars, a quick shot. Rush for Southampton, Harrington, the wrister saved by Morbillo. Cam Minardi on the face-off, trying to win it back. Fluttered in by Harrington. Now pinched up down low, Menino applying the pressure. Harrington spins around the contact, challenged by his second. Rauch trying to take it away, but it's punched off the board and out. Minardi in transition now with numbers. Drops it off. McNamee, top right corner. Southampton back within one. D'Angelo trying to get back to the puck. Half the game gone by, 4-3 the score. The Friars, their lead back to 1. Evans fanning on the shot, now trying to step around D'Angelo. Evans will hold on to it. Minardi, the new challenger, drops it off for a pass. McCauley pushed down to the ice. Referees deem it legal. A tip in front of the net, glances off wide. D'Angelo has it again, head up, looking to flip it to the opposite side. Martin O'Sullivan streaking after it, has Minardi in the front, got the feed over, but Minardi was tied away. D'Angelo on the backhand will hold the zone. The Friars take it off the boards and play it out. This is McCauley on the wrist shot, looking for it on the right side of the net. Held in by Zethner. Back over from McCauley. McCauley, a centering feed, went through and through. Zethner with it again. A wrist shot from the outside, creates a rebound. Minardi trying to tie it up, and now it's poked to the high slot. The Friars send bodies at the problem. Galloway, a wrister, save by Armashevitz, excuse me. 6 minutes left in the second. D'Angelo couldn't get the clear going. Back with Evans at the blue line, pressured and now forced out. O'Sullivan looking over for Minardi, but turned it over to Zethner. Evan Goldstein forced an awkward pass, taken by D'Angelo, giving it ahead for McNamee. McNamee across the blue line, and we'll have a penalty. Interference going to be the call against Kessler. St. Anthony's trying to set up on the doorstep. $1:40 left on the power play. They have great puck control, and now McNamee trying to force it out and will. Under 5 to play in the period. Menino dicing it ahead. Menino going straight at Craig, angled away. Menino and Craig tying each other up. Chance for Craig to get it over to Harrington. Hunter Harrington will now send it 200 feet. Brody Morbillo coming out of his cage. Plays the pass, Nooner. Nooner around Goldstein. McCauley, pocket picked. Back with Harrington. He'll once again flip it down, gloved by Colmer. Opportunity maybe. McNamee didn't have the speed at the end of his shift, definitely with some tired legs. 45 seconds left on the power play. There hasn't been a whistle since it started. St. Anthony's had great puck possession at the beginning, not so much now. Tizzano trying to do it himself. Tizzano, a pass to no one. McNamee gets it ahead. Minardi, he might try to go here. One man behind, one man ahead. Minardi challenging 2-on-1, angled away, and will die out in the corner. 20 seconds left in the power play. Nooner wristing it over to Tizzano, lost it out O'Sullivan. Oh, trying to get it to Minardi. Slowed down on the wall, and he'll just try to dump it in. Played back to space. McCauley bringing it back down low. 3:30 to play in the second period. Jake Evans wide to the goal line, a shot. Armashevitz the save. Back up to the blue line. Another wrister blocked at the point by Minardi. Now a blown tire. That might let them go. Here comes O'Sullivan. Down the right side, O'Sullivan couldn't get the centering feed. Takes a step towards the slot, and it's spiked away by St. Anthony's. Evans over for Tizzano, a wrister. Armashevitz a save. A follow-up, got it again. Puck will go down, and we will get an icing. McCauley. Gave it over to Evans. Evans threw a forest of sticks and got the wrister, but missed wide right. Evans spins on McNamee, tied up on the boards. McNamee will now let his left shoulder do the work. It's out for Kretz. Kretz to Goldstein. Back check from McCauley was good. Galloway taken away by Harrington. Hunter Harrington off the wall to Kretz, held up by Zethner. Back over for Harrington, and he'll scoop it out of the zone on the backhand. McCauley, stripped by McNamee. McNamee shimmies over to his left. McNamee still has it. Couldn't get the shot off, though. Harrington over to Craig. Craig had his shot blocked and into the protective netting. $1:50 left in the second period. Shot directed. Goldstein trying to find it. He'll collect. Goldstein driving middle. Couldn't get the feed back, though. McNamee had too many bodies in front of him. Satera joined by Rauch on the rush. The wrister will go off the left foot of D'Angelo. $1:25 remaining in the period. Pass over to McNamee. McNamee across the blue line. Minardi has 70 seconds remain. He'll try to build speed. Separates himself for the puck. Right back onto it. Caught up completely at his own near point. Feeding the pass to his defensive core. Played ahead. Minardi tipped it to the neutral zone. Rauch called offsides. On the rink behind us, Longwood freshman White lead 1-0 over ESM. Captain Tizzano on the face-off, one forward by Southampton. They'll force it into the offensive end. Menino playing it out. Puck now loose. Minardi will take it. 37 seconds left. Menino, trouble against Minardi. Turned around for a shot. Morbillo a save. Minardi with it again. Cam Minardi looking for the pass. Interrupted, and now St. Anthony's can fly ahead. Not past Harrington, though. Dumped in. Nooner the first one into the zone. Better angle, though, for Craig. He'll get to the puck first. Lost it in the corner. St. Anthony's looking for the wraparound. Pass up to the blue line. Quick shot, Menino into the slot. 3 seconds left, and we'll go into the third period with the Friars up by 1. 15 minutes remain to decide the third semifinalist here in the freshman division of the Suffolk County High School Hockey League. Back for the start of the third period. Southampton trailing by 1 against St. Anthony's. The Friars scored 2 in a row to go up by 2 in the second. Southampton with the most recent goal to cut it back to 1. St. Anthony's with the first tester and a good save for Armashevitz. Stripped away by McNamee. He's been having a great game as well for Southampton. McNamee with 2 goals already, as that shot will hit off the post. Chance to rush back the other way. It's O'Sullivan to lead his team. Cuts up, had it interrupted by Zethner. Gets by him, another good move. O'Sullivan hit it off the outside of the net. McNamee, a whacking strike in order to keep it behind the net. Now looped around. Landon with room up the left side. A pass, got it past Harrington. This is Evans in on net, he scores! O'Sullivan trying to get it in, and he'll draw a penalty. Exactly what Southampton needed after going down by 2 again. The minor penalty will go against Menino. Zethner looping up the boards, held alive. Greg looking to sidestep, but makes it into a turnover. This is Tizzano in on the breakaway. Tizzano, shorthanded, he'll score! Three-goal lead for St. Anthony's, the biggest of the night. D'Angelo. He'll look to go with speed. Get some room from McNamee. D'Angelo across the blue line. Glides left. His shot right into the leg of Zethner. Rebound sits down low at the far point, and it will come out. Southampton needing to reset. D'Angelo back with it again. Pass over to Mistretta. He'll start to head up ice. Mistretta breaks it in. Joined by Minardi. Mistretta looking for a shot, saved by Morbillo. 50 seconds left in the power play for Southampton. And puck will go all the way down. Harrington will be the first one to it for the Whalers. Up to McNamee and deflected out of play. Colmer firing it off the high glass. Emtaj holding it. Emtaj with it again, trying to find the centering feed. Got it over to the slot and then fired all the way down the ice by Colmer. 3 minutes gone by here in the third period. Power play about to be over for Southampton. 2-on-1. Rauch looking for the shot. Missed it on the near side. Galloway holds the zone. Back around Satera. Handoff for Rauch. He'll try to walk it up the wall. Emtaj slowing him down. Poked off her stick back over the corner. Harrington sweeps into the action to swoop the puck away. 11:20 to play in the third. Southampton probably feeling the pressure. They were down by 1 coming into this period, and oh, how quickly things can change. Now in a 3-goal hole, the biggest of the night. Good check for O'Sullivan. He'll take control. Muscled away, and St. Anthony's get it right back. Shot, and Armashevitz will get it underneath. Puck into the high slot. Evans looking to move it. Got it over to Zethner. Zethner one more pass. Now in front of the net, a scramble for McCauley trying to poke it in, and it will be covered up. Goldstein looking for his passing options, gets it off to Kretz. Had his pocket picked by Evans. Jake Evans, not past McNamee so easily. Now Goldstein racing over the puck. A hit will allow his team to hold the zone. In deep, McNamee. Fired out of the zone. Kevin Kretz looking to go towards the goal. Rebound against Morbillo. Goldstein was trying to crash in, but covered up by Brody a second before. Harrington, and we'll get 2 helmets caught up and a whistle because of it. Minardi and Tizzano had their helmets stuck together. Quick one-timer with a deflection from Minardi, trying to find the follow-up, but Nooner was there too quick. Nooner flying across the blue, angled wide by Harrington, cuts towards the middle. No, he'll wrap the net. Feeding it up to the blue line. Menino going back to Nooner. Gets a hip check into the left wing corner. Minardi in to help out the cause. He'll flip it ahead to O'Sullivan, trying to bowl his way past the checks. O'Sullivan with Minardi in on the rush. A shot, O'Sullivan trying to find the rebound. It's popped high into the air and goes wide to the right. Net off its mooring, so we get the stoppage. 8:48 remaining in the third. Puck rim to wall, around the wall. Minardi over to McNamee. McNamee down the slot. His shot interrupted. Rebound opportunity sent wide by O'Sullivan. McNamee back to O'Sullivan. Now Minardi on the doorstep. O'Sullivan looking for the rebound. It won't go. O'Sullivan helped out by Minardi, but it's Tizzano to break it out of the pile. Now leading the pack. Galloway will bring it in. Has Tizzano behind, and a shot saved by Armashevitz. Good speed for D'Angelo, then blew a tire. Hoffman got it in over to McCauley. Good pass over to the left side, Borison. Taken back by Southampton. Mistretta on the breakout. It's McNamee over to his left. Mistretta looking to drive. His shot fiddled high and into the end boards. He'll bump down low with Zethner in order to hold on to control. Fired it middle again. Chance now. Gives it over. McNamee, a shot down low, saved by Morbillo. Menino in the corner. Kessler on him. Taken up and out by Menino. Finding some room to really start to work. Menino on the wrister. Glove save for Armashevitz. It looks like we'll get a timeout here on the LI Sports Network. Back with 7:17 remaining in the third period. Puck fumbled at the blue line. Great recovery, though, from Menino. Menino forced back to the red line. Harrington, a D-to-D pass, broken up to Minardi. Spiked off his stick. Kretz giving it to Minardi. Now across the blue line, O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan wide, takes a shot, glove save by Morbillo. McNamee looking for O'Sullivan. Stepping in front was Galloway. Evans quickly to the goal line, looking backdoor. Galloway will hold the zone, helped out down low by McCauley. Those two will combine and pass it up to Evans in the slot. Evans glides over to his right side, dropping it off Menino. One more pass, Galloway hopped under his stick. O'Sullivan out to Minardi. Cut off by Colmer. He'll give it back for Evans. McCauley, Colmer. Minardi challenging, allowed O'Sullivan to take it. Dumped back in. McCauley walled it off. Returned it over to Southampton. D'Angelo trying to get his way through the crowd. D'Angelo for Minardi. Across the blue line. McNamee over for D'Angelo. Took a big hit from McCauley. Held in by McNamee. McNamee down low. Minardi on the doorstep. Saved by Morbillo. Minardi still with it. Angled off the puck, and the Friars will take it back. Quickly over to Jake Evans. Evans. Off to the right wing and almost got it in front for McCauley. Swim dodges around Goldstein. McCauley still holding on to it. Dropped it off behind him. Colmer looking for an angle. Save made by Armashevitz. Five minutes to play in the third period. Breakaway upcoming. Southampton trying to dig deep, and a great back check came through from Jackson Zethner. Whalers still operating in the offensive end. Big collisions down below the goal line. Mistretta wins it to space for Kessler. Had it stripped on the near boards. St. Anthony's roll it out of the zone. It's Tizzano controlling, looking over for Nooner, who is streaking over to the crease. Tizzano getting it over to Nooner. Henry downed by Goldstein. The puck underneath Evan's skate. Evan Goldstein getting wrestled around right now. Goldstein will now challenge straight away. Takes the puck away, got it over for D'Angelo. D'Angelo for Mistretta, a shot down low, parried by Morbillo. Good dangles from Menino. Nothing coming from it, though. It was repelled by O'Sullivan, who now digs the puck up in the neutral zone. Had it roll off his skate, needs to reset. Minardi over to McNamee. McNamee holding it. Now Harrington will enter. Everyone on sides. Hunter Harrington, one good step and put it above the crossbar. Kretz will keep it in at the far point, giving it to Minardi. Had it roll off his tape. Henry not past McNamee. McNamee, another shot looking for a tip from Minardi. He'll chase after the loose change. Minardi with it again to Harrington, a shot wide left, and we'll get a whistle. Looks like we'll have two go off to the box, both Menino and Martin O'Sullivan. Back to the draw, Minardi got it over to the corner. Thrown up the wall and out. Good step up for McNamee and in the neutral zone. He'll reload it right back to the blue line. Thought twice. Wants some more space, and Harrington will lift it into the zone. Colmer back with it. Harrington looking for the tip from Minardi. Glanced over to the right. Goldstein playing a pass to Minardi. Minardi in the slot taking it to his forehand, but it was saved by Morbillo regardless. 2:16 to play. Good defensive work from McNamee. Minardi rolling it across the blue. He'll go wide, feed middle. Goldstein had it hop his stick back to Minardi on the right side. Minardi a centering feed, but no one in the crease. Under 2 minutes to play. Southampton still trailing by 3. Hasn't been a goal in over 10 minutes. Most recent was St. Anthony's on the shorthanded opportunity. Minardi looking to dodge. Had it caught up by Evans. Evans angles into the zone. Evans down the middle. Evans still holding on. Tried to go through his legs. Puck still loose. And we will have a penalty upcoming. Southampton will pull their goaltender. On the power play as well. Quick shot off the draw. Save made by Morbillo. Opportunity for the Friars to clear it out down the ice. McNamee trying to flip it long. Knocked down by Zethner. Evan Goldstein with it now. Goldstein for Minardi. A wrench thrown into the works, and St. Anthony's will clear it again. .45 seconds remaining in regulation. St. Anthony's up by 3. Minardi trying to do something about it. Dodges across the blue line. Leaves it behind for a quick wrister. Missed wide to the right side. McNamee back for it, still sitting on 2 goals. A good feed down low. Better save by Morbillo, getting off to his left side. Puck onto the near point. McNamee will hold the line. McNamee shimmies, sends it middle. Goldstein put it above the crossbar. 10 seconds left, and the Friars are bound to continue to dance in the playoffs. They'll move on to the semifinal with a 6-3 victory over Southampton.